Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Midday News on Global Television. We are live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Anthony Momodu. Vice President Kashim Shettima has urged Nigerian lawyers to be unwavering in their defense of the rule of law, justice and judicial autonomy, saying these pillars are crucial for sustaining the nation's democratic ideals. Shettima made the call in a Ilorin, Kwara State, where he applauded President Bola Tinubu's non-interference in election proceedings and favored opposition parties, as well as his refusal to weaponize state instruments to protect perceived allies on trial. The vice president noted that President Tinubu's hands-off approach had strengthened Nigeria's democracy, setting a precedent for future administrations to uphold the independence of the judiciary. He urged legal practitioners to emulate this spirit, noting that true lawyers are those who meticulously prepare for court, argue based on facts and legal principles, and courageously challenge injustice wherever it exists. Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives Benjamin Kalu has revealed that the House is deliberating on a bill aimed at reserving special seats for women in Parliament. Kalu made this announcement at the second Women of Divine Destiny Initiative Inspiring Women Summit in Owerri, Imo State capital. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project (SERAP) has called on Nigeria's 36 state governors to disclose comprehensive details regarding the state independent electoral commissions operating within their jurisdictions. SERAP says this is in a bid to enhance transparency and accountability in the electoral process. In an official statement on Sunday, it urged the governors to promptly review crucial information concerning the chairpersons and members of the respective commissions, including their qualifications, political affiliations, if any, and the mechanisms surrounding their appointments. The National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has warned Nigerians against the hazardous practice of using dangerous chemicals to preserve food items. On sale, new Naira notes at the agency specifically emphasized on the dangers associated with the dicolors, a chemical commonly utilized by traders to safeguard food from spoilage. Director General of the agency, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, underscored the toxicity of dicolorvos to human health, cautioning that its use can have fatal consequences. President Bola Tinubu has ordered security agents to go after the killers of the 5 soldiers in Aba, Abia State, and those behind the call for sit-at-home in Southeast. The president stated that on no account should anyone, under any guise, have the audacity to kill agents of the state. The president, who was reacting to the murder of 5 soldiers in Aba on Thursday, May 30th, by elements suspected to be members of the indigenous people of Biafra, warned that the federal government will come down heavily against those who have made it a habit to needlessly attack officers and men of the armed forces. The slain soldiers were on peacekeeping duty in Aba, Abia State on Thursday when they were murdered just 2 months after the similar tragic incident happened in Okwama in Delta State. Delta State is to get a Federal University of Agriculture as the House of Representatives Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions holds a public hearing on some bills that seek to establish new institutions in the sector on Monday. The House had mandated the committee, chaired by Honorable Akim Adeyemi, to consider 9 bills which seek to establish new agricultural universities, colleges, and institutions across the country. Minister of Solid Minerals Development Dele Alake says the federal government will deploy technology for the surveillance of mining sites across the country. Alake said The technology would be in addition to the 2,220 personnel of the Mining Marshal Corps drawn from the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps to combat illegal mining. The corps deployed across the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory were also trained on modern warfare by the military to secure Nigeria's natural resources. The National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, has advised the Bola Tinubu-led administration to align itself with the demands of the organized labor. NANS, in a statement signed by its president, Pedro Obi, stood in solidarity with the Nigerian Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress in their call for an increase in the national minimum wage. The Kogi State government has announced the rescue of the remaining 8 kidnapped students of the Confluence University of Science and Technology, OSARA, bringing the numbers of rescued students to 30. 2 of the abducted students were, however, killed last week by the abductors following the state government's decision not to pay ransom for the victims, but rather embarked on the non-kinetic onslaught against the kidnappers. This was revealed on Sunday in a statement by the State Commissioner for Information and Communications, Kingsley Fonwo. The Kogi State government has announced the rescue of the remaining 8 kidnapped students. At least 4 traders have reportedly lost their lives due to the severe rainstorm accompanied by strong winds at the IBB Square in Bauchi State, the venue of the recently concluded Northeast Trade Fair. The storm, which began on Saturday night, resulted in the death of 2 people and caused significant damage to the Gombe and Yobe States pavilions, as well as within the trade fair complex, while 2 other victims who sustained injuries later died at the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University Teaching Hospital. You're watching Midday News coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. When Midday News returns, Senate bows to pressure, suspends action on amendment of CBN Act. These and other stories coming right after this break. Just stay with us. Back from the break, this is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of Midday News. Thank you for staying with us. On the foreign scene, Hala Thomas Doll, an entrepreneur, has won the Iceland presidential election and will take over the mostly ceremonial role from the incumbent Gudni Johansson. Tomando, 55, received 34% of the votes cast in Saturday's election in the North Atlantic nation to beat former Prime Minister Catherine Jacob-Sindor, who stepped down as premier in April to run for president. She garnered 25 of votes. The president, who is elected on a 4-year term, carries limited political powers but often acts as a uniting figure in the island nation of almost 400,000 people, which is a NATO member. An aide to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu confirmed on Sunday that Israel had accepted a framework deal for winding down the Gaza war now being advanced by the U.S. President Joe Biden, though he described it as flawed and in need of much more work. There are a lot of details to be worked out, adding that Israeli conditions, including the release of the hostages and the destruction of Hamas as a genocidal terrorist organization, have not changed. Biden, whose initial lockstep support for Israel's offensive has given way to open censure of the operation's high civilian death toll. On Friday, aired what he described as a three-phase plan submitted by the Netanyahu government to end the war. The Senate has bowed to public pressure by suspending the planned public hearing on the amendment of the Central Bank of Nigeria Act 2007 to allow for further consultations and input from key stakeholders. This is coming as the Apex Bank yesterday issued further clarification on the 50% balance of the repatriated export proceeds, saying that the balance of the proceeds may be sold to unauthorized dealers or eligible users of the foreign exchange with eligible transactions. The Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Institutions said the suspension followed the controversy generated by the amendment process for the bill. ExxonMobil has stated that it is awaiting the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to lift the injunction preventing the sale of its assets to Seplat Energy. The company's regional communications manager, Africa, Oge Odeaga, disclosed this to our correspondent while responding to an inquiry. It was reported earlier that the NNPCL had on Thursday confirmed it had signed a settlement agreement with ExxonMobil companies in Nigeria over the proposed divestment of 100% interest in Mobil Producing Nigeria Unlimited to Seplat Energy. On the entertainment scene, hair has always been a defining aspect of Nigerian singer Yemi Alade's fashion, whether she is rocking a Fulani hairstyle, a pompadour, afro pops, or long tweed. The musician, who shot to mainstream fame with her 2013 hit Johnny, consistently showcases bold and stylish hairstyles in her music videos, a trait evident from her early career days. Alade was seen sporting a similar hairstyle in the recently released Tomorrow music video. Instead of her usual variety of hairstyles, Alade opted for a more regal look with a single tall black straight wig. Reminiscent of the Brigadier character, Alade kept her wig simple with no embellishment apart from a golden hair piece, yet the wig paid homage to African hair texture. And jumping into the exciting world of sport, Zili Zhang has knocked out Deontay Wilder in the 5th round of their fight in Riyadh with an explosive right hook that floored his opponent. Wilder had been knocked off balance by Zhang's previous blow, and then the Chinese heavyweight closed in to finish the job. It capped off a remarkable night for Frank Warren's Queensberry promotion in Riyadh, who completed a clean sweep over Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Boxing. Captain Gino Nduka came up with a huge stoppage time winner for Remo Stars as the Sky Blue Stars beat former champions Kano Pillars 2-1 in Ikenne on March Day 34 of the Nigerian Premier Football League to keep their title hopes alive. The Navy encounter looked set for a potentially damaging stalemate for Remo Stars, but Nduka benefited from a goalkeeping error by Kano Pillars keeper Muhammad Galadima and sent the home fans into frenzy for their first win over Kano Pillars in the MPFL. The win took Remo to 59 points and 1 point adrift of Rangers, who played a woman draw with Sporting Lagos at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena. That's it on Midday News, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja, when Star Times Channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Anthony Momodu saying thank you for watching, and see you again.